All right, in today's episode, we are just Jerome and I. The Jerks went to Bethpage Black literally 1 week to the day after Jerome and I went and set a date for us to play golf while I was in New York. They waited until I left and until you couldn't go to go play Bethpage Black. What a bunch of two moto bags.
What a bag of smashed.
Yeah, just terrible. Just terrible people. We're not going to do too much on the Ryder Cup. We're actually going to look back today on the LIV Golf Major season, which was likely a disappointment as we look back through it because of no winners. Long, cold winter for the league. I feel we'll get your take on it here in a second. We'll grade the league on how well they did at each major, and then we'll pull out the top four-ish players from the league and give their major seasons a grade. So let's start with the league itself. Just flat grade, no wins. Obviously, you can't be too upset when Scotty Scheffler wins a major, so you throw those two majors out. Rory got the career Grand Slam that, he's been waiting for like, 10 years. So I don't know how upset you can be about that. As a Rory hater, of course you're upset. But as a league, I don't know that, I think the Masters was a good chance obviously for LIV Golf to win. That a lot of their players fit that course well. So to not win the Masters was probably a disappointment for sure for the league. And then you had the U.S. Open where Hatton was tied for the lead with 4 holes to go. So, and Carlos Ortiz was kind of right in it too, headed to the back nine of the last day. Overall, on a grade similar to school, A plus, best, F, total failure for the year. How would you grade the league across the board through for 4 majors?
I'd say a B. I mean, leaves room for improvement, but there was a lot of competition.
A lot of competition is as in there were a lot of guys who just were competitive in those
Yes,
events from
exactly.
the league. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll get down into each event. I think you have to win, right? Like at this point, the league is built on the backs of some very big names, big stars. Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, even Joaquin Niemann to a lesser extent. Without a win, though, I can't give them a B. It's a C or less without a win for me.
You know what? And I think that's a really fair thing to say. I give him a little bit more credit than that, but that's fine. Like I don't think it's an egregious thing just for you to give him a C.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it's not a terrible grade. It's a passing grade. Like they performed well enough as a league. The Stars, I feel like, let them down. And we'll look at despite the fact that you'll hear some really decent finishes from all of them, they let them down in the sense that you never felt like Jon Rahm was going to win a major this year. Like if you were watching, like maybe heading into the event, you did. There was never a moment where you were like, "This is Bryson's event to win." Like we never got to that point. So I feel like the Stars kind of let them down. Maybe we got spoiled over the last couple seasons where Bryson won a major, Brooks won a major, Rahm was not really in the mix, but Bryson was in the mix every single event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other guys kind of chimed in again, similar to this season. So I'm going to give him a hard C. You could convince me as if that's a C minus because of top guys like Joaquin Niemann not even being in the conversation and playing so well in the league. And then Bryson shooting a 78, and storming his way back to a top 10. There's some weird finishes when you look back at the finishes. And so I'm wondering if it's fairy or rose-colored glasses if we give them anything better than a C. Trying to be fair, but we'll see.
Okay, but I think the other thing to bring up is that, I mean, you could call it rose-colored glasses, but the other side of that equation is everybody's always putting them down. They have to adapt their play to something different every single time they play into a major. With nobody giving them any credit for the kind of golf that they're playing currently. So, I mean, call it rose-colored glasses. I call it sticking up for my guys and giving them credit where credit's due.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. We could go on. We could do this whole show on how much the legacy golf media was just pouncing on every negative thing throughout every single major. Again, we're not going to talk about that though. Let's go major by major and give a quick grade for the league, or I should say, if you think back to it, how you felt about their performance. Back to the Masters, Patrick Reed finished 2 shots off the lead, but again, it was kind of like final round hold out for eagle on 16 to get him within 4, birdied 17, birdied 18 to get him within 2. Like kind of that thing. He was never really headed into the playoff with Justin Rosen
He didn't
or
have a
McIlroy.
commanding lead.
Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah, he was not.
Right.
He was not there. And so, for me, Masters D for the league because the guys who can. I mean, former winner Jon Rahm, like former winner Sergio Garcia, like those guys were not there in the mix. Bryson, obviously, just losing out to Jon Rahm 2 years ago, like he wasn't really truly involved in the mix at that major, and so it's a D for me. I don't think it
Okay.
gets any better.
So let me ask this. What would an A be? The entire top 5 all live guys, including the winner?
No, I think well, an A
So
is a win for sure. That's an
okay.
automatic A. Now,
All
to
right.
get an A without to get an A
So
without,
there's a lot in between A and D then. So what you're telling me is your specificity for each grade is very minute.
yeah. I mean, you're right. There is a lot between A and D. Like
There
you're
has to
gonna,
be.
yeah.
If A is a win, if is A is a live guy winning, and D we had to get. What did Patty Reed finish
He
second?
finished third.
He finished third. So a live guy finishing third, and we have C and B and all of the minutia, minuses and pluses in between. Do you see what I'm saying?
And you know what it is? It's because you watch it and you get the feel. Like I got the feel for how competitive they truly were. There's a third place finish, and then there's a down to the last hole third place finish. And it was not the same thing for Patrick Reed, in my opinion.
Wow, it is. It is. It must be so nice
I'm a
to
hater.
have that kind of. I am just. I think it's very critical, and if that's the way you want to view it, that's fine. I think it's great to have a third place finish, and yeah, it was. Did it come down to a playoff? No. Was it a couple strokes? Yeah. I mean, it's not like Patty Reed finished 6 strokes behind first place,
He finished 2 strokes out of the playoff.
two
You're right.
strokes out of the playoff. I
Maybe
feel
I'm being
like
a hater here. They gave the league a D, but again, you got to look at it.
that's you saying it, not me.
I think I am being
All I'm saying is,
a little bit harsh.
I think a live player finishing third by 2 strokes in the top 10. How many live guys were there?
He might have been the only one. I know Bryson finished. Bryson backdoor to top 5. He finished 4 strokes off the lead, and that was it.
So I give that a B minus.
You talked me
You
into
only,
giving them a C. Two in
you
the
only
top
have
5.
two in the
Two in the
top
top
five.
5. You talked me into getting a C.
That's just me. Listen, if you want to give them a
Be a
D
hater.
and have such small criteria for climbing, that's fine. If that's the way you want to live your life, that's
You
fine.
got to earn your A's, though. You got to earn your A's.
If it's not a win, it's not an A. I'm 100% with you.
All right. So let's move on then to the PGA Championship. Bryson came in 2, but he was 5 shots behind Scotty Scheffler. But he did have the second best score. He didn't play great. He didn't really finish well. He was 1 under par in the last round and finished 6 under for the event. Jon Rahm finished tied for 8th, 7 shots behind Scotty Scheffler. So he got and Joaquin Niemann finished well, 3 under par on the last day, 4 under for the event, same thing, 7 shots behind T8. So 3 live players in the top 8, none of them really truly in contention when Scotty dominated the PGA Championship.
I give that a B minus. You had a bunch of guys finish in the top 8, but there was a huge disparity between the winner and the guy who finished in second.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm still sticking to the C, despite a second place finish. I think you got to delineate there somehow. The score differential there, the big score differential, really hurt the league. U.S. Open, it's interesting because it felt like it was their best. Felt like on Sunday it was the league's best chance to win, with Hatton right there, heading into the 14th hole with Carlos Ortiz as well. Hatton and Ortiz both finished tied for 4th, 4 shots behind JJ Spawn. Jon Rahm finished tied for 7th, so 3 in the top 7. He was 5 shots behind, but again, Rahm played round 4 amazingly. He was 3 under par in a tournament where only 1 player finished under par for the entire week. So Rahm's final round really helped him move up in the standings, kind of a backdoor-ish top 10, but a good finish. And 3 players in the top 7 again, with Hatton challenging. Now we can start talking about a B- type of event. where
See, that's
they've.
so funny because I feel like that's a C plus.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean, listen, the winner was the only one that shot under.
And well, to be
That's
fair,
not a great round.
he did make a 55-foot putt on 18 to get under par
That's
for
fair.
birdie. Otherwise, he would have finished even, which is
But
which is what he's trying to do. He's trying to two putt.
I digress. Like, I think, was it a really tough round? Absolutely. I mean, you still got to call a spade, and it's a C plus.
I think it was the league's best chance to win. I think Hatton with kind of no names. I don't want to call them no names because they're not no names, but Bobby McIntyre and Victor Hovland were the other two golfers who finished ahead of Tyrrell Hatton. Hatton shot 2 over par on the last day to finish 3 over for the event, and he was really right in the mix. I think it was LIV Golf's best chance to win a major this year, and so that's why I give them a B minus. And then of course the event that we just witnessed, where to be fair, no one was in contention except for world number 1 Scott Scheffler. Bryson shoots a 78, finishes up the event with 65, 68, 64 to be the only LIV golfer in the top 10, and he finished 8 strokes off the champion's pace.
That's a D for me.
You're being very kind.
It's not a fail.
You're being very kind. One top 10 in an event where guys are shooting 17, 15, 17, 12, 10 under par, was not a difficult setup for an Open. Obviously, there were so many players deep under par when the event finished. Bryson obviously screwed the pooch in round 1 by getting off to such a bad start. Otherwise, he would have been right there. I mean, he played the best. He played the literal best last 54 holes in the history of the championship.
He could have written it off, though.
He could have gone home. You're right. He could have gone home. He didn't.
He could have just been like, you know what, the next round I'm going to play whatever, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to get ready for, or actually not go home because they're staying.
Right, they're still over there. Funny enough, you say that. He actually did go home. He was at the premiere of Happy Gilmore 2 yesterday. So when you fly private, I guess it's no big deal to fly from the UK to America back to the UK to play a golf.
God, he went all the way to fucking LA and then came all the way home. You know what? I'll say this, though. I mean, let's be honest. It's a Netflix movie, and Sandler lives in New York. I would not be shocked if he might have just been in New York.
You might be right. I don't know where the location was, but it was the premiere was Monday night. Yeah, Monday night, and so Bryson somehow showed up there since he's in the movie.
I mean, it's private jet.
Yeah,
it's not that. It's
he
not that long.
goes wherever he wants.
You take a nap.
Climate change is not real, and we might lose half of our.
What does climate change have to do with flying across the Atlantic Ocean?
Well, they complain about this carbon dioxide. Meanwhile, like carbon dioxide makes up like 0.003% of the air you breathe. Anyway, we're not doing science yet.
We're not going to get into this.
We're not going to get
the things that China is doing to our atmosphere on a daily basis.
India literally dumps the garbage in their river. They've dumped so much garbage in their river that their river is garbage.
I know we're on a European sportscasting thing here now, but like let's not get into
we're not getting into
how terrible India is. I mean, on top of the fact that we have Austin
and we do have an Indian on our team. All right, so let's do some individual grades real quickly. We'll start with the big man, Bryson. Here is his 2025 season. We talked about him 3 times already. So tied for 5th at the Masters, tied for 2nd at the PGA Championship, missed the cut at the US Open, tied for 10th at the Open Championship.
B minus.
He has high expectations, and you have high expectations for him too.
I'd give him a B plus if it wasn't for missing the cut.
I'm with you. I think a B minus is a fair grade. It's not a C. It's not a B because he missed the cut. If he had made the cut at all 4 and had 3 top 10s, that's a B major season for him. Obviously, an A would have been a win. We've talked about that already.
3 top 5 finishes could have been in a cut would have been like a B. 4 top 5 finishes would have been a B plus. Yeah.
I think he's disappointed in his major season. So he's one of the guys who wants an A. So his B minus probably would sting a little bit. I think he would say this major season stung, and you could tell in his Open press conference afterwards when he went right to Ryder Cup how he's going to bring the energy to the Ryder Cup, and he's going to look at that as a redemption on the world stage for his lackluster major season. Number 2 guy in the league is Jon Rahm for sure. Here's Jon Rahm did make all 4 cuts. He finished T14 at the Masters, T8 at the PGA, T7 at the US Open, and T34 at the Open Championship. So we got 2 top 10s, a top 15, and a made cut, basically.
B minus.
Yeah. It's not a
Same thing.
C. I agree with you. It's not a C. He made all 4 cuts. He was never really, truly in any of them, but he didn't embarrass himself. Again, Jon Rahm is about winning majors. He's not here to finish top 15 or top 10.
Exactly.
And he needs to, he'll play well in the Ryder Cup, but he can't go much longer without a major before people start the Jon Rahm is the next Cam Smith and isn't going to win another major because he only plays 54 holes and doesn't care and cashes a big check. It's coming. We're like this close to that. They almost said it last year when he had missed cuts in the majors. In 2024,
everybody has a bad day.
I know. In 2024, he missed the PGA cut. He did not play at the US Open because he was injured, and he finished T45 at the Masters. So he did not have a good major season. So he had a rebound season. He's headed in the right direction at the majors. So he kind of quelled that murmur about him being, taking the check and not caring. Right, two real quick grades here. Joaquin Niemann, Masters 29, PGA Championship T8, US Open, and the Open, missed the cut.
It's not great. That's a C.
You're too kind. That's an F. 2 missed cuts for me.
I mean, no, 4 missed cuts would be okay. I'll give him a D plus.
Okay.
4 missed cuts is an F. That's a complete failure.
Fair enough. 1 T8.
The T8 is just it's got to wear a back brace because it's carrying the load. He's such a competitor.
Along with this, similar to Bryson and Jon Rahm, because it's not while he didn't finish as high as them in as many majors, the standard for him is a little bit lower, I think. And so
I think it's not the standard, I think, that's lower. It's our expectations.
Expectation, that's a better word.
And especially for us, our expectations for Tyrrell Hatton are higher because we know what a competitive guy he is and how he's played in LIV. For the rest of the world out there, Hatton is not. He's not that famous of a name. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't say it wasn't disappointing. I wouldn't say it was over the top great. Maybe you could talk me into a solid B performance for Hatton.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he can put something together and win next year.
Do you want to change your overall grade for the league after you looked at the top 4 guys? Yeah. I was harsh
because it wasn't just the top 4 guys. There was a lot of other guys that had, we talked about Patty Reed finishing second. We didn't even bring him up here in the individual grades.
He didn't deserve it because I missed our grades for our contest. We do it real quick. We're the only 2 here, and we'll rattle off our picks real quick. And the contest is over, but we're gonna run this out as is and still kind of make our picks, despite the fact that you have won the contest already.
I have not won the contest already, and what I think we should do is get a night this week and get all of us to really rattle off picks real quick.
I get to make my pick anyway. I mean,
go ahead and make your pick.
Am I in last place? Am I in last place though?
Hold on.
Or did I pop out? I may have popped out.
I also went through and compiled what teams are left for each of us. So just to go over that real quick.
I am out of last place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Jay's firmly in last place.
Yeah. So okay. So we'll have to let Jay pick. Even though
his +7 finish last week really sunk him down, and the fact that kind of a switcheroo, he finished because this has kind of happened to me where I had a really bad finish with Mickelson's +7 finish in South Korea, and then Cheech finished -11 with the help of Torquay to put us within 2 strokes of each other. I mean, that's a big swing because he came up and I went down. It's kind of the same thing with you. You went down 5 and he went up 7, and you just went in the opposite directions.
Yeah.
Jay is 39 under, you're 48, and now you're biting at the heels of Cheech, who's 49, and I'm at 63.
And no one can smell you. You're so
that's
far
not we just said, but that's not even true. Still have the goats still to pick. No, hold on. My bad. No. I still have the cliques to pick.
You have to pick a player you're talking about?
Yes. A player from the cliques. I have to pick a player from the Ironheads, and I have to pick a player from the Majestics.
Those are your last 3 players, huh?
Yes, those are my last 3 teams I have not picked from.
Love it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to need to be very strategic from this point on. Cheech still has Range Goats, Majestics, and Cliques. You have had the best smattering. You still have Smash, High Flyers, and Majestics, and Jay, Ironheads, Cliques, and High Flyers.
Yeah, I don't think I have anybody major who's going to really move the needle for me here, but we'll see. I got some ideas of who I want to pick.
So I think we should try and get the whole team together to do picks, because it is not over. I am not claiming victory. A lot of things can happen. You guys could make terrible picks too. I mean, there's to say that, but I
For
am
sure.
not going to be that
This thing's
guy.
over.
I'm not going to. No, stop it.
This thing's over. This is Scotty Scheffler performance this year in the league.
Don't you dare.
Your world-class picker of LIV Golf players and teams.
The only thing I'll say is that I have come a long way in terms of my pick.
You're damn right about that. You were damn right about that.
Yes. The last 2 years have been very
First
competitive.
year, I think you only knew about 4 guys in the league.
True. That's very true.
Is there here? I got an idea. Let's do it on Instagram Live. We've not done an Instagram Live ever. I think a first ever Instagram Live will. So follow us on Instagram if you want to see our picks. We'll do that later in the week. It'll be like a late night. Get the boys together.
Aaron's going to put a little blurb of our handle on Instagram. Actually, you should put a little blurb or Instagram, X, YouTube, everything, so that
_54 golf.
Yes.
That's where you'll find us.
Yeah, that's exactly where you'll find us. And then on all of them, you could click on the link tree too, and then that's how you get to Aaron's OnlyFans, and you can watch him put things inside himself. Sometimes he gets them out. You get to figure out if he's going to do that or not.
It's got to be the last 3 minutes of the show. All right.
Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Please go to the link tree and follow us on all of our socials, especially Instagram, so you get a notification when we're posting our picks on Instagram Live, and you can comment below in real time who of us made the good picks. I know it's going to be me, but regardless.
And next week, come back. We're going to get Austin and Mac on to talk to us about Bethpage Black and how the conditions are.
They're not going to want to talk about it because they're still in the rough looking for his ball for C.
T1. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got today. Let's get the fuck out of here.